Alright, fellas, Coach Matthews here with the Week 3 press conference. Start off by saying, way to get back on track, Lumberyard. Picked up the W last week against an underperforming Schlickman team, which I said all along. Still not putting up the points totals we would like. Just not getting the right production out of certain players that I'd hoped a lot better for. Team is not doing very good with the points, but we picked up a W nonetheless. Moving on to Week 3 against Hadyo Kids. Johnson, I think I'm going to just pretty much roll over his team. I think he catches bad breaks this week, and I think I end up coming out with a W. With that said, moving on to the questions. Question 1. Your team is off to a 1-1 start. Not bad, but do you attribute the slightly slower start this season to not having your normal puppy calendar at work? Yates, I think that's a good question, and I think that has a lot to do with it. I mean, you get to a certain point, you're superstitious. They threw away my damn calendar and gave me some bullshit, which is why I'm doing this in the presence of the Pimp Palace, also known as 105 Fairview Lane, Wheezy Avenue. So we're going to try this venue out, see if it works a little better for us. Rank the group in terms of most SPMs to least on average. Did not prepare for this, so I'm going to wing it. Definitely least is going to be Joyner and Jordan, coming in at an astounding 15 SPMs. They're kind of older, so I don't think they're getting up there any. Next is going to be surprisingly Jimerson, just because of his huge scrotum sack. I imagine his cock is ginormous as well. That kind of length is going to slow you down in the SPM range, so he's going to be next at a good solid 17. I have no doubt he can get his hips moving, but that's a lengthy penis will definitely pull down your SPMs. Next, we're going to go Ellis with a solid 19 SPMs. No rhyme or reason. Depending on whether he is drunk or not, we're going to go Shark, 21 SPMs. Definitely, if he's drunk, he's going a lot faster. Next, we're going to come in with surprisingly Freeman. With the way he does his doggy style approach, I don't see his SPMs getting up too much. So we're going to go at a solid 25 SPMs. Next, we're going to Johnson. Based on his technology skills, I'm sure he's figured out a way to pump his SPMs up pretty good. We're going to go a solid 35 SPMs for Johnson. Next, we're going to come in at Ellis. I've already said Ellis. So we're going to go to Terminator. I feel like he's going to terminate some pussy. 40 SPMs for Terminator. Moving on to Schlickman. Schlickman's actually going to be down at the bottom. I don't see him generating any SPMs. I think he is lost in the pussy, and he's going to go about 16 SPMs, slightly faster than the old farts of Joyner and Jordan. Petey is going to come in surprisingly at the top. I think he can get those hips going. I'm going to give him a nice 54 SPMs. I think once he gets it, he can really tack out. But I'm only giving him about a minute or two based on size. So I think he's going to wear out pretty quick. Let's see. Miller, not sure if I've done you yet. Just because, I don't know, you'll think you're fucking yourself. You're going to come in right at 1 stroke per minute or second. So we're going to go 60 SPMs on Miller. Radford, you're going to come in at number 2 with a good solid 66 SPMs. Actually, we're going to go 69. 69 SPMs. On top, I'm going to say myself, at an astounding 75 SPMs on a good night. So, there's your list. If I left anybody out, I apologize. Like I said, I was winging this one. Next question. If you could change lives with one owner in the league, who would it be and why? We realize you would never want to, but would you like your answer if you had to? I would change lives with Freeman. He comes from good money, good happy home. I think I'd like to know what it would feel like to have that kind of quiche on hand. So Freeman, you would be my choice. If all of our league owners were women, which owner would have the stinkiest pussy? I'm going to go with Freeman on this one. Because he's a bigger guy and he sweats like a motherfucker. That bitch could brush his teeth and break out into the sweats. Look like he just got out of the shower. Ridiculous. The best pussy out of the group. That's interesting. That is interesting. It's a tough one. Puts me on the spot. I'm going to go best pussy to... It's got to be Yates. It's got to be Yates. He's a genuine guy. I think he's going to keep his junk clean. I think he's going to give you everything he's got. You know? I think he's going to have it perfectly groomed for you. Hell, Yates might even throw in a little landing strip, point you in the right direction, because that's just how good of a guy he is. So I'm going with Yates on that one. My week 3 predictions. I'm going to go with Peterson's Lumberyard over Hide Your Kids. Brady's Boat and Deflate Shop continues their dominance and moves to 3-0. The Durham Nice Guys up-in game 4-set match on an injury week for a 4-set match. The Raleigh Refund Checks will take over the Wilmington Sharks. The Young Bloods improved to 2-1 and send the Colton Kevin Costners to 0-3, sadly, which nobody could be more happy than to see him 0-3. And lastly, Courtroom Brady. Battle of the worst 2 teams in the league, I think. Courtroom Brady takes it due to lack of receivers for the Black Guys. Is pimping easy? No, it's not. I've ran into a bit of a drought lately, as ashamed I am to say. So it's getting harder. Definitely not easy. Unfortunately, it ain't easy. Pimping ain't easy. Unless you're the Godfather. In that case, you got a hoe train. What player do you wish that you had drafted later in the draft? I'm going to say so far is going to be, I don't think I would have gotten him later, but at this point I'd just rather not have him on my team, and that's Joique Bell. He hadn't done shit, and I couldn't trade him for a bag of shit at this point. Nobody wants his ass, and I don't blame you. I'm just trying to get him off my fucking team. So, definitely Joique Bell. Which coach in the group most likely has herpes? Based on the amount of women he has claimed to have slept with, I'm going Coach Radford on this one. You run up with that many women, the odds that you have herpes are greater, for sure. So, Coach Radford, not saying you haven't, but you're definitely the most likely candidate for herpes, I would think. Miller's a close second because I feel like he pays for his sex a lot, and you know there's some dirty whores in the sex industry. If you and Miller were ever in the same club, do you think he would share his dom with you? Which one of you would be king of the club? I don't think he would share his dom because he's a selfish prick. King of the club? No doubt, that's Weezy, baby. Bitch can't dance like me. Bitch ain't gonna dance like me. Which is gonna bring us to the last question. You get a first round bye. Draw a bracket for the 15 league members and a dance-off performed at an Asian nightclub. Here we go. Matchup 1. It's gonna be Joyner versus Petey. Petey's gonna come in with a little cabbage patch and take round 1. Next up, Freeman versus Jordan. Jordan has some impressive moves with his hover round, but Freeman points his way to victory. Next matchup, Schlickman versus Johnson. Schlickman, redheads have no soul, therefore you lose to Johnson with the robot. Next up is going to be Ellis versus Terminator. Ellis Hate to say it, but you lose this matchup. Terminator impresses just by staring at everyone and dominates the matchup. Next match we have Dirty and Jimerson. Let's see here. Going with Jimerson. You gotta give it to the black guy. He can dance. Got to. The next matchup is gonna go with Yates and Miller. Miller brings out the mirror, looks in it, dances around. He's gonna take round 1. Nice guys always finish last, Yates. It sucks, I know. Last matchup is going to be Radford versus Burton. Unfortunately, Burton, Radford's going to shimmy his way to a victory in round 1. Round 2, since I had the bye, is going to come to me versus Johnson. You know Weezy's coming in Ray Lewis hot. Knocking the robot out. Johnson's out of here. Next matchup's going to be Freeman versus Petey. Freeman has a tough matchup with Petey, but he's going to just drop that bitch right on the floor and take it to round 3 to the semifinals. So Freeman advances to face Matthews in the semifinals. Next matchup is going to be Jimerson and somebody. Somehow this lineup got screwed up. But nonetheless, Jimerson advances. Whoever he was facing, he wins. Moves on to the semis. Next up is Radford and Miller. Radford takes this one. Cracks the mirror with his walking stick, also known as the cane, and takes it to the semis. Semi-match number 1, Matthews versus Freeman. Freeman can't wiggle his way or point his way out of this one. Weezy hits him with a little hot stuff, baby, this evening, and moves on to the finals. Second semi, Jimerson versus Radford. You'd think the edge would go to Jimerson, but Radford pulls a ace from under his sleeve and takes it to the finals, pitting him against Matthews. And being it is an Asian club, I think the persuasion is in Weezy's favor, and he takes Radford's cookies and wins the dance-off. Matthews is the dance winner. I'm sure that comes to no